last night I showed the first part of my interview with Tom Polen. He's the CEO of Becton Dickinson, which gave you a great overview of where his medical instruments and supplies company sits in the global healthcare system. He got some terrific color in their new products, too. But in that initial discussion, we didn't get the chance to dive into the rest of the industry, which is unfortunate because Becton Dickinson can give you a really clear view into the healthcare supply chain, something that was a major point of weakness during the pandemic. Fortunately, we got to take some additional questions with Tom Polen after that first conversation. So take a look at part 2 of our Becton Dickinson interview. You know, Tom, we spent a lot of time speaking to a lot of executives, and I think a lot of them were interested in the healthcare system, obviously, and doing good. But I think your circumstance, just to talk personally about how you got involved, it is important for people to know because it's not the same as most.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who work in healthcare got there because of a personal story or experience that they had. You know, for myself, I woke up at age 13, was getting ready for school one day, and my mother, who was 35 at the time, collapsed and ended up dying of a brain aneurysm pretty immediately. Ended up through that day going to hospital to shock trauma. Ultimately, there was nothing that they could do. But it was that experience that inspired me to want to get into healthcare and make a difference because I saw the opportunity.
Okay, so what was your first move in doing it? I think people want to know how you made that your profession.
I first went and was working in the laboratory actually at Johns Hopkins Hospital and doing research there. Then ended up joining a small startup company. Was one of the first 5 folks that we grew up, and we sold it to Becton Dickinson.
Oh, okay.
Which is how I came to BD. And then from there, continued on, met my wife in the middle. She was an officer in the Navy. We were deployed. Left BD for a bit when she was deployed and then came back to BD after that. So.
Now, you did go to Hopkins. What did you learn there about the system and how we can change it? Because I think you have, of all the people I spoke to, I think you have the best breadth of what we can do to save this healthcare system.
Yeah. You know, certainly there's a big focus right now on efficiency, right? Hospitals, they feel the pressure of inflation, probably more so than many other industries, right? Inflation's particularly hit from a labor perspective. And if you go in a hospital, right, the costs of nurses, et cetera, are a big, big portion of their expenses. And so solutions that can help drive automation and efficiency, we see as a big need in helping to transform care. Also, at the same time, moving from high cost, high acuity settings like hospitals, being able to move more routine care into settings like in the home. And so we've been investing very heavily in areas like automation for the pharmacy, for the laboratory, informatics that help improve nursing productivity. We've recently got, for example, 510K clearance for a new way to collect your blood from your fingertip, not by a phlebotomist, but maybe by a clerk in a retail store and eventually by yourself in the home. We've been investing in point-of-care diagnostics to get things like rapid flu tests. Figure out if you have flu or COVID in 15 minutes rather than needing to go to a hospital. So we really see that shift of care moving in new ways, and it's going to take technology to help make that happen.
Now, you are very involved in the national level with Gina Raimondo, Commerce Secretary, has been on many times. When you talk to her, what are you most concerned about in terms of the way our country is working with healthcare?
Yeah. Secretary Raimondo is doing an amazing job, first off, and I'm really fortunate to have the opportunity to serve on her advisory board for manufacturing. One of the areas that she's very focused on is helping to make sure that the U.S. is secure from a supply chain perspective when it comes to delivering health care. And I think that's been a top focus of theirs. We're getting better after the pandemic. You know, for BD, one of our core strengths is we are a manufacturing company at heart. We make billions of units of medical devices in the U.S. Our strategy has always been to produce locally. We actually import very few products into the U.S. to deliver health care.
Now, does Secretary Raimondo understand that it's just more expensive to make things here?
You can, although, you know, we make things very efficiently in the U.S. If you go into one of our factories, you'll see very advanced robotics and automation. That's what allows us to do it, is with technology. And again, we're a 125-year-old company. We've been doing manufacturing right from the start, and so that's a core competency of ours.
All right, let's talk about what happens at home. For instance, we mentioned the other day in the interview, you talked about GLP-1s, and people are self-injecting. Is that your technology? Did you come up with that? And is that saving lives?
Yes. So inside every auto-injector, which is what you press the button on when you deliver a GLP-1 to yourself, inside is a prefilled syringe that's actually connecting with the drug. It also has the needle pre-attached. That whole system is ours. We created that category. And most drugs that are in a prefilled device, if it's in a prefilled syringe, most likely it's ours. We see, GLP-1s are just the start of medicating yourself with injectables. There's whole new classes of drugs that offer tremendous promise as well for things like Alzheimer's disease or cancer. And they're going to be in different types of self-injection devices. For example, we have a wearable injector. Some of the new Alzheimer's drugs may take 15, 20 minutes to inject. So you're not going to hold something, but you're going to attach something to your body, and it's going to infuse that as you're going about your day. The same thing can happen for certain oncology treatments that will infuse you over hours, potentially, again, as you go about your day. You can shower, you can do whatever. So that's going to require devices that we make and we're bringing to market.
Well, I think that your experience as a young boy has helped our system very much.
Great to discuss.
Excellent. Okay, that's Tom Polen. He's the Chairman, President, CEO of Becton Dickinson. Thank you.
Coming up, pop open those umbrellas and tee up your toughest questions. Cramer takes on all comers in the lightning round. Next.